This is David Wheaton. The following is a TCW short take, a bite-sized highlight from the Christian Worldview radio program. You can hear the full program at thechristianworldview.org. Where is the proposal that this actual Palestinian state would be within Israel? Would it be in what's called the West Bank? Where would it be in Israel?
Palestinian state would obviously be part of Gaza, and it would be not all of the West Bank, Judea and Samaria in the biblical language. Now, when the Trump administration negotiated the Abraham Accords with the United Arab Emirates in 2020, Israel committed to not annexing any territory from the West Bank for a period of 4 years. That's a very important detail of that because Israel promises that the land in the West Bank, where there are a lot of Jewish settlers, that Israel would not annex any of that territory. And I'm quite sure that that would be a fundamental requirement by the Saudis, that Israel makes the same commitment to the Saudis, that for a certain period of time, whether it's 4 years or however many years, that Israel will not annex any of these territories. Now, there's obviously a dispute over the future of a Palestinian state. Would it be in Ramallah? Would it be in Jerusalem, the capital I'm talking about? Would it be all of the territories that Israel controls right now after the 1967 war? Is Israel going to be allowed to retain some of that territory? What kind of a land bridge would there be between the West Bank and Gaza? There are all kinds of proposals. And so you can see the complexity of the details. The details really matter. But what I see is that if the Trump administration is really determined to get this done in 4 years, Israel could come under tremendous pressure. I just want to add, this is a very important point, that I like President Trump. I am not an anti-Trumper. I like many of the people that he's named, like Marco Rubio as Secretary of State. I like the idea that President Trump sees the need for a strong America because strong America brings global stability. And the weak America that we've seen for the last 4 years has created so much of the instability that we're seeing in the Middle East and in Russia and Ukraine. I don't think that the Russians would have invaded Ukraine if President Trump were in office. So I just want to add that I like President Trump, and I'm not trying to criticize him. It's just that on this particular issue where the United States is potentially forcing the Jewish state to make land concessions, that could go really bad for the United States because God in the Bible promises that land to the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This is not a game that we're talking about North Cyprus versus South Cyprus, North Korea versus South Korea, who controls what part. We're talking here about land promise that God made to Abraham, and it's very dangerous for the United States to be forcing the Jewish state into making concessions because what the Trump administration or the Biden administration or the Obama administration, all the administrations that have tried to force Israel into making land compromises, is you're really setting a confrontation between the United States and Almighty God himself. And that is not a situation in which the United States wants to find itself.
This has been a short take from the Christian Worldview radio program. To hear the full program and connect with this nonprofit radio ministry, go to thechristianworldview.org. I'm David Wheaton.